It's not the city council problem, it's not a county government problem, it's not a state government problem, it's a federal government problem when we have American citizens that have no place to go. And they're in harm's way. There are people that abuse these people, there are people that assault these people and stab them, catch them on fire. And to ask someone to leave a tent when they don't have any place else to go, and go someplace else, which they may not, anything can happen. You're very vulnerable out here. I've been out here for 8 years. I've seen all kinds of things. And it's wonderful to have a city council that listens as well as you folks. I think we struck a nerve some part the last time I was here when we spoke. And I'm thankful to see that that's happened. I've had Officer Spaulding come up there and take pictures of this big mountain of stuff that's been up there for about, I don't know, going on 10 years. And we're finally getting it out of there now because somebody brought us a dumpster and they're saying, hey, okay, this is right. It's a two-way street. It's not just about the homeless people in the city, and it's about everything that goes with it. If the city council can find a way to take the authority away from those private sectors and put it in a government entity such as the city and create a halfway house program utilizing the rescue mission building that we have here, and allowing people to get on their feet rather than say, okay, you can only take a shower at a certain time, you can only eat at a certain time. When you get up in the morning, you have to take all your stuff with you. Well, it's impossible to get a job. And I was on DOT property up here. I suppose DOT policy is 90 days after their warning, so I could have stayed up there and been under DOT rules for a lot longer. As it was, the city's decision for a camping ban and trying to get into housing and everything, it's another vicious cycle that I've gone through where I've managed to miraculously get sustainable employment here somewhere and save some money and almost get on my feet. And right when I'm getting ready to get there, I mean, along comes something that, well, you have to move. You have no place to move to, so you have to give up your work. So all the money that you have now, you have to spend.
I think that, actually no, I think that back, it's not the main first part, it's when you finally find a good spot to be able to pitch up a tent, and then the cops come and tell you that you have so many hours to move your tent, otherwise you're going to get charged with trespassing. And where else are you supposed to move it? I mean, sometimes like in Warrenton it does. It really does over in Warrenton. I mean, over here in Astoria, we obviously haven't had that problem because, I mean, we don't have a tent pitched up in Astoria. Go in Warrenton. And we have had that problem. And we have friends that were staying behind Goodwill, and they all got kicked out of there. I mean, where me and my husband are at, I mean, we're just waiting for them to come and tell us that we have to go from where we're staying.
What's next?
Exactly. We have nowhere to go. And the thing that really gets me is a lot of people around here go on saying how this is a great town, great people, and it is a great town. It's a beautiful area, but a lot of the people in it, they're not so great, they're not so beautiful. Because if you're homeless, they look down on you. If you're walking down the street picking up cans to be able to survive, you're looked down on a lot. I mean, there was one day when we had a bag just like this, and we were told that we couldn't ride the bus. We had to walk from Astoria across the bridge to Warrenton because the bottles that we had, we couldn't turn into the storage here. And they wouldn't allow us to ride the bus.
Hi. I will need you to move now since we are open. I gave you about 45 minutes, so if you're not gone in 15, I will have to.
I will be gone in 15 minutes. Like that. Turn me over. I'm waiting for my husband. Unfortunately, there's nothing I
Do you think you can eat something?
Huh?
Do you think you can eat
Oh,
something?
yeah. Cheeseburger. Fries. Maybe a root beer. Large, if you would. See how you
You guys
take
doing well?
2 or 3 days.
Doing well. Obviously, it's a public park. There is no smoking actually in any of our parks. We're from the city parks department.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll put it out.
Yeah, and we'd really appreciate you didn't actually put stuff out on the amenities we've got.
I know. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. See?
Yeah.
Look what I finished.
Yeah, and we just turned off the receptacles actually. Yeah, so the power will be shut to all these as well. Sorry? The moments.
Is that too loud?
Well, there were some complaints from City Hall about
Oh, really?
the music. That doesn't seem very loud to me.
Well, I'll cut it down.
Yeah. But yeah, just generally, we're the ones that have to come and clean up any messes that
I
are made here.
respect it. Look, you see any butts? I cleaned it all up.
All right, I don't know whose suitcase this is, if this is associated with you guys or.
See this? I cleaned all of it up. I respect this place.
Excellent. Well, yeah, and we just really want to make sure we keep it clean for everybody and keep it a place that everybody wants to visit too.
Right, because the tourists come.
Sure. Well, not just like normal people that live in the town and value their public spaces. So
I'm
we want
not
to make sure everything stays clean.
I'm not causing no trouble.
Just hardships, you have personally, I guess, can make you move. I grew up in Lincoln County. I got in a lot of trouble down there, so law enforcement was an issue for me. Well, not so much now as when I first came here. It was anonymous. Nobody knew me, so they didn't. I could sleep different places or whatever and be okay, and they wouldn't mess with me.
Was that desirable at the time when you got here?
Yeah,
that's kind of what you were looking for.
Yeah, just a little bit of fucking space, I guess, room to breathe, not have to worry about things so much.
And has that changed?
Yeah, I'm pretty well known around here now, with the homeless community and the law enforcement. I got a high-profile van that I live in.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to miss.
Is that become an issue for you?
Not so much as in like tickets or anything, but they come through and they talk to us once in a while and they make us move. Somebody said we were selling drugs out of our van, which we're not. But it's been brought to our attention that that's being said.
Yeah.
All it does is take one person to not like just what they see, and they can make up anything. They can call it in, and they can say whatever they want to say. And the police actually have to investigate it because they get a call. They got to come out and check it out. But that actually puts more pressure on the police department. It puts more pressure on the person, more extreme pressure on the person that's actually living in the situation. And I think most of that, like when somebody did that, I think most of that was malicious. Somebody just didn't like what they saw. They're like, oh my God, there's somebody living in the van. They're homeless.
They treat me pretty well because they know who I am, and I'm not out here causing problems and getting into mischief and doing bad things. I'm just
only with his own friends.
I'm just trying to make it through the struggle. But they keep their presence well known around me.
How do you feel about that?
They let them know that they're there.
It feels harassing at times.
Like, when Ike comes up and knocks on their van.
Too much, or
yeah, like a little too much. Like they're just sticking their nose in their business where they, maybe they got other things they could be doing. Well, they haven't told me what they're after. I know I have, not currently, but I've had a warrant that they would like to. Good to go. All right. Just want to keep me in check, I guess.
They do.
So far, it hasn't. They've left it alone completely. We've been here for days.
November 1st. We'll find out.
What happens then?
They're not going to send the local police department up there. The sheriff's office. they're going to send deputies up there with work crews. Raj, what they're going to do?
Yeah, they haven't done anything that.
This is what I know from the inside, though. They're going to send work crews on November 1st up there, and they're going to start going from the bottom of the hill, and they're going to bring deputies up there too. They're going to give everybody 24-hour notice on their bag, big stickers, all their tents and shit. They're going to go up and they're going to start dismantling their camps on November 1st. They're going to bring inmate crews to pull them out. If you're working on work crew, you got work crew, that's what you're doing. You know what I mean? You got to pay them to do that for the freaking fines they got. So, I don't know. I think our town's very corrupt, Raj, honestly, from what I've seen. The abuse of power is enacting laws and enforcing laws to make it against the law to have no money. That's the abuse of power. It's not against the law to be alive. Okay? And when the city government tells us it's against the law to be alive, we got something to talk about. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeal in Idaho, last October, most people think it's this October, but no, they just reinforced the law this year. It was already passed through by a circuit court judge in a federal court that says it's against the law for any municipality in the United States to enforce or enact laws to make it against the law to be poor or sleep and have no place to sleep. A federal judge said, well, of course, it's not rocket science, man. They had to wait another year, and now it's become an issue because LA and people worldwide are looking at America. You know, we're the greatest country in the world, but we have the most economically depressed people here. But I've dealt with the most broken people. When I worked at Helping Hands, that was earth moving. You change lives. I know I do. My friend changed lives too. It's not his fault he's in this situation. What I think the city and the government needs to leave us alone. We need to not cut a hole in a safety net and make it against the law to be poor camping. But before they fucking enact the law to do that, they need to make sure there's another safety net beyond that so these people can go to. You got housing, drugs, mental health, drug and alcohol addiction. So yeah, it's a 4-pointed question, but you can't answer it without hitting one point of it. When I remember going to that meeting with Ben Broadshell up here at the college, and frickin' I couldn't go back. And Mike and Alan forced me to go to it. They're like, you got to go represent, you know. And I'm like, why? Because I represent nothing. I'm homeless. And they're like, you're not homeless. You live in our shelter. You manage our shelter.
Nothing, on record or anything. It's just people come to me because they have problems or whatever, and they think I can help them, maybe fix them.
They're looking to you for something, right?
They kind of look up to me sometimes. Some of these people. Special.
Well, you must have a gift for that. Then.
He does.
Like, how do you help people?
I can't really say how I help people. Just being there, I guess. A lot of times listening to them. And maybe give them a little bit of advice or something.
Being empathetic ear, listening to people.
Yeah, I mean,
when they do.
I don't really know what kind of a gift I have or anything. I just have knowledge for people, I guess. Because I've been there myself. I don't know. I just see a lot more hardship coming. I don't see anybody doing anything about helping us. It's all against us. The cops kind of laid off a little bit on telling people to move and being hard asses on that, but I don't think that's going to last long. They're going to do something here pretty soon.
But why would Tom Bergen actually get so mad at the police department? Because they're arresting a homeless person, putting me in their jail every night. Every freaking 3 days, man, I was getting arrested 39 times over one ticket. No, they're not. They're not allowed to. I'm going to do everything in my world, in my human body, to prevent that. I love everything. I'm not going to hurt anything, but I'm going to use my voice to actually help them change this. Because it's not against the law. I'm sorry. Some people have unfortunate things happen in their lives. Some people have to resort to certain things, survival tactics and stuff like that. You do what you do to survive. We do. And when it comes down to brass tacks of it, if these people lost their freaking houses, man, we say the big tsunami comes, you know who's going to be the ones out here helping more people that live in these freaking houses that lose their shit? It'd be the homeless people, because we know how to do it. They don't.
No, I went to the city hall meeting over the ordinance they wanted to sneak in to avoid the, the ruling by the judge in Idaho who said you can't say no camping in city limits unless you provide housing for the homeless. It's a federal judge ruled that just this summer, last month. And there's always also a California precedent set, same thing. And so therefore, they thought they'd tweak their their ordinance to try to push the homeless out. Oh, no. A lovely woman named Nell read about a 25-minute letter about these laws, about compassion, about this city saying they were trying to humanely get rid of homelessness like in 99. And they've not done one thing on their little agenda except try to push it off into somebody else's backyard. Well, the homeless aren't standing for it, and the city realizes they have to slow it down and get more input. But I'm telling you, they said, is there any... I was complaining about the bathroom they took out on 6th. It's the last public bathroom where I'm near that I can use in the middle of the night. Can't always get all the way down here because I don't have enough gas or time. I'm disabled. Sometimes I need that bathroom fast.
Or safe.
Right. So, why'd they take it away and why did they not return it? That was the question. They never answered it. And then, so I told my story, went really well. And I sat down I said in my story, Mayor, I've been trying to be on that task force. I've been to her office 5 times since last, winter. She never returned my calls, ever. She goes, well, we've invited the homeless, but you can't be on it. Oh, why is that? Because you haven't been here for 10 years. Oh, really? And you don't get a vote, but you're welcome to come.
So it's not inclusive.
No, and there's no representation. It's like taxation with no representation. If you're going to affect decisions about my life in my class,
you need to be included.
I get a vote. Not just a voice, a vote. Excuse me, I'm bronchitis again. Because I got a virus and I'm still homeless and I get sick. I could die on these fucking streets and whatever. No, I'm like, good luck, bitch. You're not getting a vote. I mean, she was nice. She was telling me how we could not. She goes, we've invited the homeless. They don't come. Oh, that's because they're asleep or drinking. Well, between CCA, which is the Clatsop Community Resources, and this woman now, oh boy, she's on it. They couldn't, and they have to slow it down. They can't, and if they're going to kick them out, I mean, the suggestion is let them camp on city property and give them some garbage cans. Oh, we had to bring out 5 pounds. Do you know, it's like in Portland. I mean, give me a break. There's 650 homeless people in the county. It's a lot for the population.
It's getting to be almost a tenth of the population.
Oh my goodness. Do they not realize we're a class in and of ourselves? I didn't say that to them last night. I need an attorney because you cannot tell me I can't be on that damn force. That's what the revolution was about, representation. If you're going to affect legislation that affects us, you have to allow us to be represented in the vote on a committee. Yeah. And, no, because I have friends that aren't homeless, they're outraged because they see how bad it is.
I look at it a little bit as like a harm reduction where you want to prevent further damage to people.
It's like being sick, yeah.
Yeah, you want to... It's a public health concern.
Very much so. Very much so. And it doesn't take much to become homeless in your vehicle. So no more knocking on the window. They can't do that anymore. And I said, that's a good thing because, you know what, that's sleep deprivation is torture. It's against the Geneva Convention. I said this in there. I go, I was going to have to go to The Hague. No, I don't. Isn't that nice?
3 people filed for medical extensions on their moving due to disabilities. The police accepted it, so everybody up on the hill has been granted. Smith Point's been cleaned out except for the personal belongings. The guy's moving tomorrow to Florida. Behind the hospital was pretty well cleaned out, and they're going to go up on the hill tomorrow morning at 9:30 and walk their way through. Some of the people have scattered, some of the people have moved completely off the hill. A lot of trash is getting picked up. There was a gentleman, from what I understand, is going to go through and film when they go through. As an advocate for the street people, when they went up and got their notices, I walked through and made sure everybody was treated polite and, you know, offered services. A lot of people have been offered help in the past, and it's led to dead ends, so everybody's pretty skeptical. So I'm trying to work with these agencies to get them to talk to the people to find out, you know. It's hard to get street people to go indoors, but if you can get some of the people from indoors to come out and talk to these people, maybe we can get some help that way. Cindy Price came down here Monday, dropped off, I believe it was a store-bought cheesecake, got in her vehicle and left.
So no
That was
contacts.
it.
Because she's been assigned to give out
I
contacts.
believe she volunteered. I don't know if she volunteered or was assigned, but she's supposed to be reaching out and talking to people, and I haven't seen it yet. I hear there were about 11 people that did go into CCA. I did go in Thursday before all the camps were tagged, just to see what the process was like. CCA was real nice. They actually gave me an appointment first thing the very next morning, you know, because I went there Thursday afternoon and they was hooking me up Friday morning at 9 o'clock. But because I was up there with the whole walkthrough with the police and everybody, I took an appointment for Monday morning. And then I went down to Helping Hands, and I found out that they were still in the process of construction. So it'll work for some, others I don't think it'll work. I know there's a lot of people out here that have dogs. You know, I have a cat. I've understood no pet policy. There's couples that would be split apart. They're not up for it. So I don't know. Through Filling Empty Bellies, we were trying to find a building for a daytime drop-in center. A lot of the problems here within Astoria is the street people's presence downtown. But if you're homeless, you wake up in the morning, where do you go? You know, exactly. It's like, what do you do? So if we had a daytime drop-in center where people could go, and then it's like coffee and showers and laundry if you needed it, and then it would get the people off the street, and then from being there and then Filling Empty Bellies lunch program, they could volunteer, help out in the kitchen or help out around the building, learn things like trades and stuff, network from there, transition and get people off the streets. It's a hands up, not a hands out program. A lot of these other things are all trying to give people hands out, which is nice to know that there are services available, but there's a lot of people out here on the streets. They're either retired, medical conditions, young with no skills. So yeah, I know people that have got off disabilities and got back being functional, just retrained.
Yeah.
So, you know, there are avenues, there are things. What's the magic solution? I have no idea. But I know if the people sitting indoors are scared of the people that are outdoors without even realizing these are all human beings. You know, I've worked hard my whole life. There's other guys that, you know, just like myself. Yeah, if Astoria was hit with the amount, you figure per capita of Astoria, the amount of people, and then you figure the per capita people in Portland versus their homeless ratio. If Astoria had the same thing down here, they wouldn't know what to do. They would be overwhelmed. But if you work with the few that we got and learn how to work and build something out, build some kind of a program that, it's going to be trial and error, but if you don't try, nothing's ever going to happen. I was talking with the lady from Clapson County when they got that, sold the property and had the $500,000. She thanked me for calling. She says, one thing that's she's always said with the homeless is they're not organized. And if you get organized, you could accomplish a lot of things. So I think it's just a matter of getting people to sit down and listen and come up with real solutions. Then maybe something could happen.
And all of my baby pictures and everything in it. My grandbaby pictures. Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. It means that you just feel like you were robbed. Yeah.
They show no respect.
No respect. They said that they were going to hold our things for 30 days and everything was in the dumpster. Moses' bikes, his trailer, everything he used to try and get around on to go to work on, they threw them all in the dumpster. I dug in the dumpster. Everything was in there. I tried. It was buried so damn deep that you couldn't get nothing out of there. They're worse because I can't get back the pictures of my grandbabies. Can't get back the pictures of my kids' weddings. You can't replace that kind of stuff. Well, at least 12 years worth. 10 years of photography I spent in hopes that someday I could share all those pictures with some people. Nothing from that.
Yeah.
They were all on memory backup chips. And I can't. I looked for half an hour in the dumpster. I couldn't find my bag. And it was waterproof and everything. Nothing would have gotten wet or damaged and they hadn't ran off with it. Yeah. They should have just left it there. Tag it, leave it there and put a tag on it. And it's very unnecessary because we weren't harming anyone. We weren't hurting anybody's place. There's no trespassing signs up there. Marked private property. Kenny Hansen told Moses to go out there 4 years ago. He'd been on the hill for 4 years until now. And hell, everybody else screwed it up. Because they wanted to go up down Franklin. I kept telling them, you're going to screw everything up. We never went that way. Well, yeah. And I can't get my dog in the shelter. And Moses can't be in the shelter. And I'm not going to go in there without him. We can't be together in a unit. So that's probably what's a lot of the couples that are out here. They can't be together in a unit. And people are just mean. They'll feed my dog before they feed me. I've been sitting out here for almost 3 hours. And I feel like I'm gonna get pneumonia if I have to keep doing this, but there ain't nothing else I can do. I can't afford $1,000 a month rent. No. There ain't no way. I only make $750. Moses has 2 jobs. It's winter time. Everything gets pushed back in the winter time. You make less money in the winter time. Everybody does. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Yeah, probably. But there ain't nowhere for me to go. We left town. Moses likes it here. I like it here. It's just really hard during the winter when it's raining.
It just slows everything
down. And
down.
I woke up this morning thinking about all the pictures I lost. And I can never...
You'll never have that back.
Wedding pictures of my son. 8 years of traveling all the way from Colorado up through Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Utah, Idaho. All the pictures I took through all of that. Pictures of my grandbabies that I will never get back.
It's just memories now.
Lost memories, like they were stolen from you. It was clearly a bag that looked like it should have been kept. It was a waterproof bag, had clothes rolled up in it. And I had a little glass vial in there. Well, not a vial, but a little glass container that has the rubber seal, you know, and it has a little latch so that no moisture can get into it.
Click shut. Yeah.
It wasn't very big. It was about that big around, about that tall, but I just had 12 Memorex chicks in it from my camera. It was gone. I went up there. It went in there Saturday morning.
And you saved all that.
Gone. I saved it for a long time. I managed to save it on the street from people stealing it from me, but no. The county went and stole it.
You can't even put a price on that.
Oh no.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. May as well be burning your house down. Or just burn my house down. I went through a fire with my family in 1974, Christmas Eve morning. Our house burnt down. We lost everything then.
Furniture store over there where they
That's why they got it for the thrift store, was it? Yeah, they carried them over and drove them off.
We have been asked to change, and we're asking for change in return. You know, we were promised hope and change, and now it's time to be the change. The point is, we're all Earthlings. I mean, we're all in this together. So, I figure if we can address all of their concerns, then we can ask for what they promised. So on my sign, I put that this is an Earth problem for all Earthlings. I'm just trying to get people to change their own lives. I mean, every being in the universe knows right from wrong. Don't you feel bad sometimes? Do you just walk away? You know, life is not fair, but it should be just. And when I see something that is unjust, and I have the power to do something about it, I can't sleep at night unless I do.